Hey guys, and welcome back to Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, I had a little problem with my recording. Not sure why or what happened, but for some reason, it didn't feel like recording my mic. I never noticed the issue, so I got a full recording with no voice in it, even though I'm playing it so I'm talking to you, because I am. So I'll just do a voiceover similar to how I did in Sword, but rather than redoing all of it as if it's my first time playing it, I'll just do it in a narrative fashion. So expect a lot of cuts and me giving a big summary for a lot of things going on screen. A more digestible format, you could call it. So last we left off, we were getting set up to deal with Kleavor. So we'll be going out to deal with that, eventually. So let's get a move on, after this guy finishes talking to us for some more. There's nothing important, but it does give us some items and wishes luck on dealing with Kleavor, I think. So after fidgeting around the menu for far too long, because I still haven't figured out how to navigate the menu without pressing the wrong button, we're going to head back to the last camp we set up in the middle of this map, only to then go back to the start of the map anyway a minute later. I wanted to see the guy that wanted some mushrooms because I thought I had enough for his recipe, but it turns out I didn't. So instead, I'm going to head on back over to where Alpha Rapidash is, hardcore style, collecting some goodies and Pokemon along the way. Initially, we weren't planning on going all the way out to Rapidash. I was actually looking for Driftwood to finish a side quest about them and the children of the village, but soon came to discover the beach they were referring to was the one I spawned at, and not the one so far outside the village. But how was I supposed to know they wouldn't let their children venture out into the harsher elements of the Pokemon world? So after figuring all of that out, we go back and try and catch this Alpha Rapidash. I wasn't expecting it to detect me so soon, so I tried and ran and hide in the grass, but it's having none of it and still continues chasing me down with fire and fury. So I try and position myself behind it to get in a sneak attack, but that doesn't work, so we just go into a normal battle where it moves first and puts us to sleep. Off to a great start. So with my turn loss, it decides it's going to end my whole career and just knock out my poor Buibui. So now we switch to Luxio and try to get off a quick paralysis, which we managed to do. And now we just gotta lower it down some more to more easily capture it. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it easy for us at all, and the size is going to turn up the heat on my little Sparky boy. So we lose him too, and now he's giving me this, "Is that all you got?" look.
That's all you've got?
So now we really gotta step it up and show him who's the real alpha. So we send out Kleavor and have him assert his dominance by rolling around at the speed of sound. Unfortunately, this does little to impress our giant flaming horse friend, and it decides to just ram us down like nobody's business. And with that, he goes out on his own turn, so we miss out on capturing Rapidash yet again. Seems this one will forever elude us. And with that disappointing encounter out of the way, we're now going to make our way back to the camp while, of course, capturing more Pokemon and getting more nuts and berries. After we healed up, we make our way over to deal with another alpha. Along the way, we catch more Pokemon and finish more missions of our Pokedex, as you do. Not gonna lie, 90% of this video unedited would just be me running around exploring and filling in my Pokedex. But it's the act of exploration that makes this game so enjoyable for me, rather than worrying about non-stop battling for the sake of badges and becoming a champion. After dilly-dallying for a good bit, we do eventually make our way down to the Alpha Parasite, in style I might add, where we surprise it with a backstrike and Staravia gets to work for us to easily capture it. Unfortunately, he's a bit of a stubborn one, so we switch out to Luxio to Thunder Wave it so we aren't throwing 100 Pokeballs at it. And with that taken care of, we're back to exploring, index completing, and filling up our inventory with more stuff that I won't be able to carry with me. Spoilers, no amount of expansions will ever be enough for me. So, after catching some new Pokemon and doing some EV training, if we can call it that, we start to make our way over here to where we find an Alpha Cricketune. Fortunately for us, this one is real easy to capture. So we get it done pretty quickly and continue on our way like the boss we are. But now we're going to deal with the real true challenge of this game, and that's trying to catch an Abra. The problem with them is they always spot you from so far away, so if you're just running around without a care in the world, as you do, they'll teleport away long before you reach them. So you have to know their spawn areas and just go in stealthily from the beginning, something I didn't pick up on until much later. So of course we failed at catching one of them, so instead we go and settle for an Alpha Star Avia. After feeding it a few berries to try and get on its good side, we come up from behind it and throw our heavy ball to try and catch it. This doesn't work, and we quickly retreat as to not start a fight with a big bird who would be all too eager to show me the pecking order. With it confused and wondering where we went, we try to bribe it with more berries before throwing into the heavy ball, this time managing to catch it. And with that success under our belts, we go back to try and catch an Abra again, this time managing to do so knowing they spawn around in this area, so I don't go charge again balls blazing like the mad lad I am. And now with that done, and some more video magic for skipping past a ton of unseen captures and Pokedex entries, well, except for this one Zubat giving us a lot of trouble and refusing to be captured. Every time I try and walk away in style, because we're all about the style points, he ruins it by breaking out. I can't get my cool guys don't look at explosion moments if you keep breaking out. Not to mention it's unnecessarily running up my time. So in the end, we throw a final ball and just wait to assert our dominance should he decide to break out again. But this time he gets the memo and goes quietly. So now we can finally continue our journey and make our way towards the quest marker. After murdering a few innocent civilians along the way, we eventually make it back to the camp where we take a well-deserved nap, clean out our well-stuffed sack, craft a few more balls, and then on the road again we go. I decide I'm going to terrorize the Alpha Mushroom again for some easy XP and items, but she seems determined to make us work for our food. Or she's actually trying to kill us. I can't really tell. So after a bit more dodging around to avoid some extra flavoring from our most generous shroom friend here, we send out our Star Avia to make quick work by dicing up some veggies. Mushrooms are considered vegetables, right? I don't know. And neither does she, because she ends up denying our meal and knocking out our little birdie friend. Maybe she's just telling us we need to cook our food first, so we're just going to send out our Kleavor to turn up the heat. But first, we're going to revive our Star Avia so it can join us at the table. Looks like the Parasite has changed his mind and wants us to go in raw, so she's going to dismiss our Kleavor from the feast. Rude. So now we're going to send out someone I don't care about getting knocked out and heal up our Kleavor because he's going to be there at the table. Unfortunately for us, or fortunately if you happen to be a Sylveon fan, he does end up surviving this fight, so he does join us at the table. But that's okay because he does make an opening for us to send out our Kleavor again. And with him, we'll be able to cook up the little tiny mushrooms on the side so we can go along with our giant raw mushroom, which I'm hoping we don't catch anything from. Looks like that didn't turn out to be an easy meal after all. But that's okay because you're just going to head over here and catch this random Pichu roaming around there. Hey! No. The feast is already over. You can join in now. So as I was saying, we're going to catch this random Pichu here and fill out more of a Pokédex before making our way back up the mountain where maybe we'll continue our main quest. Yeah, you knew that wasn't going to happen. First, we're going to try and catch this flying Gyarados here. What do you mean they aren't supposed to fly? It's a water flying type. Of course he can fly. So after we throw out our flying ball at this flying Gyarados, and failing miserably, we get a little upset at it and start flinging mud at it like the monkeys we are. Really, I'm just trying to see if you can aggro it to attack you and come closer, but it doesn't look like he cares at all, so we're just going to give up on that for now and go back to exploring. Questing. No, I totally mean exploring. Questing is so not a concern of mine at this game, which I mean is a good thing. It's really refreshing playing a game where it has a story, but you're more or less free to do what you want to do and ignore it and still enjoy playing the game. And speaking of enjoying playing the game, thanks to our stubborn exploration, we do come across this adorable little guy here, which I was so happy about. So we give him his final free meal before capturing him as well. But that's okay, because we'll give him all the love and attention he needs. We won't actually, because he's a nature I don't care about, so he'll just stay in the pastures with the others. But hey, at least he's not trapped inside a computer for all eternity. So now we're going to head back to the camp yet again, catch some Z's, and clear out our forever filled inventory. We then go back and check on the Chimchar I just captured, and yeah, you can see, naughty, not a nature I care to use, has to be jolly or timid to meet our high standards and join our mad exploration team. So we just checked through a few other new Pokemon we caught, changed around some moves, and now we're ready to press on. And something I hadn't noticed before was this strange tablet behind the camp. I can't tell what the Pokemon are engraved on it, outside of Regigigas. Some look like the lake spirits, Azafir maybe, but I can't tell the others. I was thinking maybe my Pokemon could break it open, but it doesn't seem like they agree it's a good idea. So I lose interest in moseying on my way. And if you're wondering, no, I'm still not ready to do anything main quest related. Instead, I'm going to go enjoy another feast with Master Chef Shrooms here. This time we're going to make sure to set the fire early so we can eat quickly and move on. But our head chef here seems to insist we take our time with our meal and puts out our fire. Rude. So I guess we'll just have to tenderize it the old-fashioned way with a little physical pounding. I don't think that phrasing works, but we're going to stick with it anyway. So after square dancing with a little friend here, which we won by the way, we decide we're finally going to make our way towards the main quest. You fool! You actually believed me? Of course we're not going to do anything quest related. How basic do you think I am? No, we're actually going to capture some more crickets and mice first. And maybe a few rocks. And now we're ready to continue on our main quest. The only problem is I do get lost a bit, but I assure you I'm actually attempting to make my way to the main quest story now. I just got to figure out how to get over this here ridge. We actually get ourselves turned around a few times. I guess I just really wanted to jump off the ledge here. But after a few more captures and collections, we get to where we need to be to head on over to the marker. I actually forgot it was in the area with the Alpha Graveler. No reason we can't pick up some easy EXP and grit while we're here. Now we're going to head back up through the cave we came through in our last video. Also, something I didn't notice while I was recording and playing through the game at this part, you can actually hear an alpha Chansey in the background. Or at least I assume that's a Chansey. I guess you can't encounter her until you're able to fly, as I haven't seen it yet. But we're not going to worry too much about that right now. Instead, we're going to go and catch some buff boys and make our way out of this dark cave. Here I try to get some berries, but end up throwing honey at the tree instead, because I guess I was expecting it to stick to the honey and collect it that way. Of course, the sweet smell of honey draws in the attention of a giant bat that I hadn't noticed was sneaking up on me. So now we got to deal with that. He makes quick work of our Luxio, unfortunately, so now we got to turn up the heat. Lava does its best, but it's not enough to do the job, and we end up losing him too. Can't risk trying to revive anyone or even catch this thing, not that I want to anyway. It just knocked out two of my favorite Pokemon, so now his death will be swift and true. The upside, after healing up my party and giving them some EXP orbs, we level up enough to evolve our Luxio into the most epic Luxray. So now we won't have that problem again with giant evil bats knocking us out. Still not enough EXP to evolve my Kleavor though. Hopefully that comes soon. After a few more distractions, we do finally make our way up to the tree to talk to Leon here. And if you don't remember who Leon is, he's essentially supposed to be a child prodigy with quite the ego. So he's going to tell us we need to go away and leave Kleavor alone. And we're just going to agree with him. This wasn't at all what he was expecting, and now he wants to fight us. I'm pretty sure he wanted to pick a fight with us from the beginning. And unfortunately for him, he's going to get one shot just like Akari did, by the same Pokemon no less. Akari was from Bite, and he's going to experience Crunch. I'd say that's pretty fitting. But even after we beat him, Leon still says no. He's a man of his word after all. And this is where he explains that he usually offers Kleavor his favorite foods to eat as an offering, but since he's in a frenzy, he hasn't been accepting it. So at this point, Irida shows up and says maybe Kleavor was struck by false Almighty Sinnoh, and this is why he's in a frenzy. And she goes further to explain she felt she had no choice but to ask an outsider for help with their clan troubles. So now Leon starts to come around to accepting our help. And with that, now we have to report back to headquarters to come up with a game plan for calming down the frenzied noble, which we already know is just throwing stuff at it. So we rest up and report back to the professor here, who says he needs to think up a plan that could work. And after that, you can see the results of our exploration here. Yeah, you can guess how much was cut off in this video now. But now we have enough points to rank up again, and that means another star. So we get back to the professor's lab and he starts brainstorming ideas. He thinks that the food offering is the key to calming Kleavor, but since no one can get close enough to him, that would be hard to do. So now he's going to start to do some big brain thinking, and after a while, So now his big plan is still to rely on the food, but have us throw it at him. Since we're good at throwing Pokeballs, it should be the same deal, yeah? So with the plan in mind, we're now free to head out and do some more quests, after giving more of our money to this camera here. But after we expanded our bag with more space, that will still never be enough to hold all my junk. We go back to Silene and get our star, which will enable us to start making and using leading balls. Leading balls? Whichever one that is. And that's the upgraded version of our heavy balls. Very useful stuff. We also learned to make hyper potions, but that's a lot less useful for me. And now with a new star in our chest, or in our satchel, I'm not sure where we keep those, we head on out to do the most important thing I could ever do in this run. After saving my life, I go back to trying to solve the Driftwood Mystery. Remember that was the first thing I was trying to do back in the beginning? But something I didn't notice was the quest called for a specific time, which was in the evening. It was early day the first I went out, and I even tried to do it at night since that was when Driftloon spawned, so I thought that would be the right time, but it wasn't. So I eventually see it says it happens in the evening, and we go back out to do the thing. It turns out Driftloon actually wasn't doing anything evil, as far as we know. The boy here was only keeping it a secret, and the Pokemon grew fond of him and didn't want to let him go. So after we scare away the little balloon, the boy thanks us, but also calling us a boy, and quickly runs off. And it's a good thing too, because I really just wanted to smack him over upside the head. So we teleport back to the village where I tried to find out who it was that I need to report our findings to. Had to mark it on a map because I wasn't going to find it otherwise. So we find her and tell her what's up, and as you expect, she's not too happy about the news and wants to put more guards around to keep the children safe. But hey, it's a dangerous world, this Pokemon world, so I can't even blame her. But with that out of the way, we now go to do another side quest, this one being a crafting mission. We just needed some wood, which we collected enough of out in the wilds to craft a Pokeshi doll. And after blowing the minds of this craftsman here with our masterworks, he calms down enough to give us another doll. Looking at the description of the dolls, you can see it just says to sell it, so I guess free money. But even now, I still haven't sold them. Not because I like them, I just keep forgetting to. And now we're going to head over to do our final quest, which will be dealing with everyone's favorite Pokemon, Bidoof. It would seem some have a habit of waltzing into the village and causing trouble somehow. And we're being asked to help out since we also have a Bidoof, and they'd be more trusting to follow us. So we need to put a Bidoof in our party and approach each one to capture it. Easy. Except finding them took so long and it was so annoying. But after we find all three, we get back here and report it to the guard lady here, who wants to expel them from the village, of course. But then Sanqua shows up and says she wants to put them to work instead. She's rather flattered that Wild Bidoof would trouble themselves so much to infiltrate the village and eat their woodworks. So why not pay them instead wood to work for the village? Actually not a bad idea, I'd say. Though I do feel bad I helped catch 3 Bidoof and subject them to working in this old village forever, but I'm sure they'll be well taken care of. Since we finished the quest right in front of the gate, it immediately triggers the next event for us, and we're now being escorted out. And this is the part in the game where I should have realized something was wrong. In the original recording, I mentioned how it never took the game so long to load before, and I was worried I was stuck on the loading screen. But it does eventually load, and now you can see we're being taken to meet Weirdeer again. And after perfectly mastering this mystical flute here without any proper tutoring or training, because we're apparently just that good, we now gain the ability to summon Weirdeer, which will make traveling so much easier. So our Diamond Clan friends here tell us we need to use Weirdeer to get around more quickly and calm Kleavor down, as we were intended to do. But instead, I decided I was going to go and do my mushroom quest, so I teleported back to the first camp, and this is where the game crashes and I rage quit because I had no idea where I last saved. Honestly, I thought I hadn't saved this entire video. Wouldn't that have been fun? But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if you like this style of editing or if you prefer I stick with my more usual full playthrough uploads. All the same, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.